So I just want to greet everyone who is in this meeting. Good morning to brethren abroad. Good evening to our friends here in Africa. All right, so I have a short, a brief sharing, which is entitled, it's actually about the healing of the soul. It is very important we understand that, and it is also very important that we get our souls healed. So you can either call it a healing of the soul or the cleansing of the soul. And the basis of this sharing is from 2 SR, page 291, paragraph 2. Here is a statement which says, God is able to heal the soul and the body, but he will not heal the latter, which is the body, before he has healed the former, the soul. So it says, dash sin first, then uncleanness of the body. So this is the order. So we find that God, in his great mercy and wisdom, has in these latter days set a center for us that is going to heal both the soul and the body. But he vows to say that he's not going to heal the body before he heals the soul. So the process is that he's going to heal the soul, and first, then later, he's going to heal our bodies. So this is a very important thing for us to understand and for it to take place in our individual lives, to have our soul temples cleansed, healed, so we can get the seal and the mark, and that is be part of the first harvest fruits. And Sister Ho, you talked of not having many centers and many people studying in the US, but we have many Davidians in the US. So we just need to continue working, advertising the true headquarters. Many of our members, many of our people are with other associations, so they need to know more about this cleansing, where it is, what it does, and then the Lord will unite us. He'll bring them and they are going to join us. So therefore, what the true Davidians need most is this healing of the soul. So let me read from the Testimonies. This is volume 5, over on page 214, paragraph 2. It reads, and I quote, "Not one of us will ever receive the seal of God while our characters have one spot or stain upon them. It is left with us to remedy the defects of our characters, to cleanse the soul temple of every defilement." So this is our duty, individual duty. We have to see to it that our souls are cleansed. So the Lord, if you look at chart number 18 of the 20 teachers' charts, the one based on Ezekiel 47, there the prophet has put the altar and the fountain on the same spot. So these two things are the ones that are to cleanse the body and the soul. But he has said that he will start with the soul. So the altar has to do the work right now of cleansing our souls. Then when we get to the kingdom, we'll have the fountain opened to the house of David. Those whose souls would have been cleansed, that they would have been marked and sealed, and they're in the kingdom, then they will get the healing of the body, meaning will have eternal life, will not forsake. Okay, so this is very important, and this is the kind of a message that we bury, the fountain, the outer message to the whole entire Davidian people, to the whole Seventh-day Adventist, so that they can come and join with the true association, which is Salem. Therefore, what we true Davidians need most of all now is the healing of the soul, so that we can receive the seal of God of Revelation 7:3. So health centers to heal sick bodies cannot help anybody to receive the seal or to be either one of or one with 144,000. But of course, we do have a department for health. We do teach health message. And yeah, that's the chart I'm referring to. So if you look at on the left, on your left on the chart, the diagram part, there you see the fountain and altar being placed within the house. That's the church. So we have the altar doing the cleansing of the soul, and the fountain later in the kingdom will be opened to cleanse our bodies. So it is very important to get the healing or the cleansing of the soul right now from errors so that we can be sealed. So Salem has this health center which cleanses souls from error. John wrote about the 144,000 in Revelation 14 and said that in their mouth was found no gum, according to verse 5, which Elijah interpreted to mean that they have a message to proclaim, and they speak the truth and nothing but the truth, according to tract number 9, page 58, paragraph 1. There is no way anybody is going to escape the cleansing by the sword of Ezekiel 9 without the cleansing of the soul. Okay? The road teaches that there is a cleansing to take place before that of Ezekiel 9. Of course, that's a bodily cleansing, a separation between sinners and the saints. But before that one takes place, before we come to the time of the fulfillment of Ezekiel 9, we have to have this cleansing of the soul. So let me read from the Timely Greeting, volume 2, number 42, page 32, paragraph 2. So it's near the bottom of that page, and it says, besides this vivid illustration, now the vivid illustration is paragraph 1, and it is a delineation, is the illustration of the sword of Ezekiel 9. Now it says, besides that one, inspiration through the prophet Daniel reveals that the sanctuary is to be cleansed, not only from sinners, but from doctrinal error too. So you see that we have dual cleansing. We have to be cleansed from errors before we can be healed in our bodies. Hence the altar there and the fountain doing the dual work, the cleansing. So God is going to seal the 144,000 saints in Salem Association whose souls have been healed from sin and errors too. So speaking of health center for soul, the Salem Association with its headquarters at Mount Carmel Center in South Carolina is the only one that has descended from the Universal Publishing Association in Los Angeles, California, and from Mount Carmel, which was in Waco, Texas. And this is an association which have continued on till it was established at the Salem Rest Home, and that was in 1970. Today, it is God's true earthly base of operation through which he is ordering the sealing work. He's doing the ordering and directing the sealing work according to tract number 1, page 37. So it is the only health center for the souls who are to receive the seal of the 144,000 and those with them. They are true Davidians who must have their souls cleansed from all sins and from all doctrinal errors of the usurpers. That means we don't have to teach errors. We don't have to believe errors. We have to point out. We wage war against these teachings. Yeah, I appreciate that. Those pictures. You see the movement of the chariot of Ezekiel 1. This is the invisible base of operation through which the Lord is directing and ordering his sealing work. So it started way back in 1930 over in California, on the western side of America. And then 5 years later, it moved to the center, if you like, in the midst of Americas. That would be 1935 when it came to Waco, Texas. Then it's been there till 1970 when it moved to where it is right now. That's in South Carolina. So that's where this center for healing the souls right now is. So when you join this association, we teach the truth, nothing but the truth. So we stick to that. So I'm gonna read just two more quotations. Then I'm going to close so that we can have ample time for us to, for deliberating in the session business meeting. So in closing, undeniably, the Shepherd's Rod is the sealing message. This is a fact known by all Davidians, and that means its main purpose is to help, saints, its adherents, to be sealed. All right, so let me quote from Answer Book number 5 on page 55, paragraph 2. It says the Bible and the Bible and the books of the spirit of prophecy being the sole source of the Shepherd's Rod message. Therefore, when the rod is taught, the Bible and the spirit of prophecy are taught. So the chart, that chart of track number 6, why perish? You see Elijah, a man nourishing 2 sheep and a young cow. All right, that tells you the source. Then they are well nourished and they bring forth a lot of milk such that he churns only butter. And we are told in Isaiah 7:21-22 that butter and honey is what people will eat, those that are to survive from the sword of Ezekiel 9, those that are to be left in the land. So that is to show the source of the Shepherd's Rod. It is from the Bible and the spirit of prophecy. So when we teach the rod, then we are teaching the Bible and the SOP at the same time. Okay, so, and coming back to our quote, it continues to say, and since none but the spirit of truth who transmitted the mysteries of inspiration can interpret them, then those who attempt to teach them without this inspired interpretation authority inevitably fall into the forbidden practice of private interpretation, the great evil which has brought Christendom into its present almost boundless state of schism and consequent confusion, strife, and impotence. End of quote. So it is because of the rise of the usurpers now, because we can't talk about the many churches. We only have SDA and the Reformed SDA and a few here and there. But among us as Davidians, we have so many associations, the marriages, those that will not be healed. I'm glad you're with me, Sister Hong. So this private interpretation, when you stick to the road message, is what has resulted in all these main associations that we have. We probably have over 20 right now, besides those that are independent. Sister Ho's report has just pointed out a recent one, a split of 2021, those so-called Salem International. I hear you said it's now in Zambia. It's neither here. They have nothing to offer, So we are just reaching out to them and get those which are true. But of course, we thank God for all these spirits, because those who are not true cannot stick with the true center for soul healing, which is Salem. All right, so I'm going to read another one. This will be probably the last one, which is General Conference Special, page 8. So I'll read paragraph 2. And paragraph 2 says, "Do not though forget that the message which he proclaims will in itself bear the divine credentials of truth." That's the message. This is a tract, a booklet all about Elijah. It says, so the he who proclaims is Elijah. So that message of his bears the credentials of truth, and that no priest or prelate can decide for you who the Elijah may or may not be. No, not even the appearance of what his message is doing or not doing, or whether it is prospering or disintegrating, can be taken as evidence that God is in it. Neither can numbers of adherents, for such has never signified a right course at any time. Not even in the day of Christ himself preached the gospel of the kingdom. The message he brings is the only thing to go by. And this is end of quote. And this is what we stick by. We just stick by the message. So this is all about Salem. And by so doing, we are being healed. We are getting our souls cleansed from all these errors. And we do have many other brethren that are with this false association, could be independent, that we are yet to reach out to. So we have to continue, putting articles of studies on the website, reach out through the WhatsApp, whatever means of communication to many other people, so they can know that this is the true center for God, which is cleansing the soul temples, and eventually will lead to people getting the fitness and the mark and the seal, and they will be part of the first fruit harvest, either as one of or one with the 144,000. So we stick by the road. That's what we go by as Salem Association. Let me, in closing, read the last part. On the same page now, paragraph 4 says, likewise, irrespective of considerations of personal faults, frailties, and failings, Elijah's message and movement will be the only God-sent ones, the only ones to fear, to love, to stand by, to live or to die for. Says there will be no other shield when heaven opens and the storm breaks in all its dread fury upon the world, to unavoidably pour down its wrath or lightning from the skies. So, end of quote. The only safety is in the road. We are to stick by the road. And we know by so doing, we are sticking by the Bible and the spirit of prophecy at the same time. And thus we are getting our souls healed and our characters and soul temples healed and cleansed from all defects. And eventually that will lead to us to get the seal that we desperately need and the mark, and then we'll be saved. All right, so this is my short sharing to all of you. May God bless. Amen.